Hello everybody and welcome to the High Performance Garden Show. This is week 27. We only have 6 weeks left in this gardening season and this garden is cruising along, still creating an abundance of great food and requiring very little effort. So you've witnessed the efficiency of this tiny garden and how much it can produce, and there is nothing here that you can't do. So once you have the right garden education, the garden becomes easy, fun, and super productive. So we're getting into fall now, so we're going to start to see a few changes in the garden as the nights get colder and the days get even shorter. And today we are filming in the evening, so the shadows will look very different to you today. We went camping over the weekend and are filming in the evening after our return home. We woke up this morning to 30 degrees at our campsite. We were up at 10,000 feet, so I'm kind of glad to be back down to 5,600 feet where it's still a little warm, which is nice. So anyhow, we're going to go ahead and get started so we don't run out of daylight. So we're going to start right here with the tomatoes. And remember last week we cut the tops out, so there's no tops in the tomatoes. So basically all that's left here is harvest, harvest, harvest. So let's do it. Let's get some of these gorgeous tomatoes off of here. I love the fall because there's just so much food to harvest. Come on, tomato. I'm going to take you home. Okay, here's my basket. My pepper plants these are my roasting chilies, and they are getting very big. See here? And there are tons of them. The cafe will use these for making salsa. He wants 400 quarts this year. So we have to grow lots of peppers for him. I'm actually going to put that in my basket so I don't lose it. And the plants got really tall this year. I thought they'd be shorter. That's why they're in front of the garden. This is one of our production houses, so we have to continue to produce food in it and the garden show. Okay. This other tomato plant, the one that we were kind of looking at, it's still acting kind of funky. I think we'll go ahead and harvest some fruit off of it. I don't want to pull it out because it's clear wrapped underneath those other plants and it might disturb them. So we'll just see what it does. We'll just hang on to it. We're so close to the end of the season, it's not really going to matter. Okay, look at all these big red tomatoes. I was hoping for some big yellow ones this year, but nary a one. I got lots and lots of cherries though. Okay, a whole bunch of them right here. Okay, we have our tomato harvest. We have a pretty good load today. That'll be delicious. Ooh, I see 2 more. Going after them. No, there's actually 3. Come here, guys. You're going in the stew pot. Alright, yep, we can make tomato soup out of them. Okay, tomatoes are harvested, tops are cut off, still looking for aphids. I did see a few right there. And I brought out my Sluggo Plus, still trying to control a few roly-polies and a few earwigs. So I like to just sprinkle a little bit every week as opposed to dumping a whole bunch on because I notice that it just rots if you put too much on. Next week we're going to feed the heavy feeders for the last time of the season, and that was easy. What's next? Okay, down here these are our turnips. Turnips are looking great. It's just a matter of waiting on them to get big enough. They're about marble size right now, so we don't want to harvest any of those. We'll just let them grow another week, and then we should start to be able to harvest them. If you wanted some leaves, you could take a few, but I would wait just a little bit. Okay, next, cucumbers. Where's my scissors? Here they are. Got a plethora of cucumbers again. Look at that beauty. Still delicious. Not too big yet. These will keep producing until our nights get super cold. So we'll get them all we can. Dehydrate them, make pickles, share them with your friends. Hopefully your friends are not running from you yet because you keep giving them too much food. Oh man, down here on the bottom too. Okay, let's see. I saw some back here. Yeah. We got our pickles for the season, but we can make some for Christmas gifts. That would be fun. I like to make about a year's worth of food at a time. So I think about, okay, cucumbers start in, let's say, June. So I want to make enough that I can get clear around till June. I don't like to make like 2 or 3 years worth because I just think they're better if you eat them within the year. So I don't want to overdo it on the pickles, but could make a nice Christmas gift. Okay, I see more. Let's get on the other side here. And they're on the ground, they're hanging in the air. They're pretty much everywhere. Okay. See, the nice thing about having this trellised up is it's only taken a half a unit of space to grow these cucumbers, but yet I get tons and tons and tons of food. So growing vertical is part of the secret. It's one of the 12 characteristics of our high performance garden is to grow vertical so we save space. Plus it looks cool. And you gotta admit, this looks cool. It's like a jungle. Man, lots of cucumbers. Okay. I think the neighbors better be locking their car doors. Be hiding cucumbers in their car at night. Of course, they'll know where it came from. Okay, do you see any more? I don't think my basket's going to hold anymore. Take one more look. Not seeing any spider mite activity. That's nice. Remember we had that rash of them in the beginning? Okay. All clear, I hope. There's a little one back there. We'll get that next week. Okay. Cucumber harvest. You want to see it? Oh my gosh. Look at there. I'm guessing 26 pounds. We'll see how I did. Okay. Cucumbers are done. Let's take a look at our zucchini here. I did see one. Yep, right here. So zucchinis, we're looking for squash bugs. We're looking for zucchinis. You want to keep after the squash bugs the entire season. Don't give them a break because they're not going to give you one. If you let them take over, they will take your plants down. So let's just really keep an eye on them. There's a few eggs. Get them, put them in the party jar. I hope all you guys got squash, got a party jar. Works pretty well. It seems different to see the sunlight differently on the plants tonight. Okay, more zucchini noodles. Been cooking the zucchini noodles with garlic and mushrooms, and oh my gosh, is it good. You don't need real noodles if you eat zucchini noodles. Okay, come here, buddy. Another batch of zucchini noodles. See, that feeds the whole family. I don't care if they get that big. It's not a problem for us. Okay, and there's a bunch of little ones. Oh, looks like we're having noodles 3 times this week. Or, you know what else I could do? Make a batch of zucchini bread. Or I could grind that up, put it in the freezer, and then I could eat it this winter as zucchini bread. Okay, one more close look. One more little squash back here. Come on, get out of there. Okay, and this squash is taking over the aisle back here, but that's fine. And there's a squishy flower on it. Yuck. Okay, wow. We're gonna have a good harvest today. Okay. Here's our zucchini for the week, and next we're going to take a look at the broccoli. Okay, here we are in the broccoli, and look at all this beautiful food. I get to go camping and get good food. Life doesn't get any better than that, does it? Yeah, this thing's really putting out. The broccoli likes it a little bit colder, and so the cold nights are helping it to produce a little bit more. So it's going to take us a little while to get around this. On the broccoli, we are still spraying the BT once a week. And right now it's also getting the Captain Jacks once a week because we're using that to help with the flea beetles, which is working. Okay, here is our broccoli for the week. That, to me, is totally amazing. That's like equal to a whole nother head. And there's only 6 plants here. Gardening doesn't get any easier than this, does it? Okay, broccoli, done. Spray your BT, keep the bugs off. Okay, kale is next. Kale's looking awesome. It loves this weather. Okay, we're gonna get us some kale. And we're watching for aphids on the kale. We don't want the aphids to move in, and they like to move in on the broccoli and the kale in the fall. So pay attention. Okay, here's our kale for the week. That is just right for our family, so thank you, Kale Patch. If you're looking for aphids, you want to look on the back side of the kale leaves, and you want to look down into the center of the plants. So if you're going to have aphid, that's where they're going to congregate in the fall. So haven't seen any yet. We'll keep our eye on it. Okay, it's time for Joy Choy again. Yay! This is our new batch, and they are looking gorgeous. Flea beetles are under control. So we're gonna go ahead and get us a harvest. Our first harvest of Joy Choy in a little while. So it's pretty darn exciting. Makes the best breakfast, I tell ya. All right, here's our Joy Choy. Yay, Joy Choy again. There's at least a half a pound there. That's pretty awesome. That'll be breakfast. And I did find a handful of weeds. There's about 6 weeds here. So get them when you see them. Don't let them go to seed. So put those in the bucket. Okay. Next, Swiss chard. We skipped it last week because it was a little bit small, but it's looking good today. So we're going to go ahead and get some Swiss chard today too. Okay, here's our Swiss chard for the week. Not quite as much as I would like to have, but still pretty good. I know that it's getting shadowed by the squash a little bit, but that's all right because we got some amazing squash in here. So first off, I want to talk a little bit about a few of these leaves. You see some of these leaves are turning brown. This is not a concern to me because what this is this is the older leaves. And probably what's happening is we haven't fed them quite as much as we should have this year. And so, like if you look at this, this is one of the older leaves. It's actually transferring the nutrients out of the older leaves into the growing tips. And see, the growing tips are looking awesome. And so that's what makes me not worry. So it's okay that some of the older leaves are turning brown, just as long as our growing tips are looking good. Normally you wouldn't even see this because they'd be laying across the ground and there would be newer leaves on top of the older leaves and you wouldn't see this. If I had a lot of energy today, I'd go through and clean this out, but since I've been camping, I don't want to do that. So I'm just gonna leave it. We got some ginormous squash coming in here. I can't hardly wait. And he's peeking down in here. Guess who made a squash? Our robe zucchini plant. It made a very special squash. Look at there! We made a U. Okay, we got zucchini coming on this end too. And that's fine. That's just a seed that we didn't know that we planted, but we did. So we will eat that too. This one I will probably chop up and saute in some olive oil with some onions and salt and pepper. I think that's the fate for this one. Okay, got our squash. Got our Swiss chard. We got a jungle in here. Okay, lettuce is next. Okay, here we are in the lettuce. Now, we are 6 weeks away from the end of the season, but what I want to do is I'm going to take out this older batch, this one that's going to seed. It's not doing us any good at this stage. Once we replant it, it should be 4 or 5 weeks before we can harvest it. But if we get an extended fall and you want to keep your lettuce going for 2, 3, 4, 5 more weeks, that's the batch that's going to carry you through. So we're going to go ahead and plant it as soon as we get the rest of this harvested. Okay, here's our lettuce for the week. There's a good pound there, so that's awesome. And now we're going to pull this batch out, replant it so that we can have some late season lettuce. It just depends on when the frost hits, how long we can go. I will actually take the garden out so I can show you how to put it to bed at the end of our show segments. But, you know, if you want to keep it going, it'll be there available for you. And this old stuff's not doing us any good, so we might as well change the bed out. I got some nice roots. Look at that. These plants love the sandy loam soil. You can see all the nice fibrous roots. These are happy plants. Well, they were happy plants. Now they're going to make happy chickens and then happy eggs. So it's all good. A few little weeds in here, but we'll get them as we're going through, so no big deal. It's so easy to change this out, isn't it? Okay, out with the old, in with the new. Okay, I brought some of my Happy Frog. Love this stuff. And my compost. Okay, I'll just work this in. Fill up the holes. There's a rock. Don't need that. Okay, we're ready to plant. Just takes a few minutes, doesn't it? Gardening's not hard. You just gotta have the right education. Once you got the right pieces in place, this just is a walk in the park. Okay, I need my seeds. I'll be right back. Got my seeds. I got my Tropicana. I'm going to plant one called Winter Density, which I like to use in the wintertime. We actually will crop out lettuce all year round, even without heaters. And Winter Density does a really good job. So if you're trying to grow your lettuce through the winter when it's really cold, grab a pack of Winter Density. I got this one from Johnny's, but I know Seed Savers carries it too. I'm still going to put this in a little thick. We could get another little heat wave through here. Just never know. Okay. And then I have my last bag of Firecracker. Such precious seeds. Put a couple rows of that in. And the other seeds, they are in the house drying. And we'll probably get them out maybe next week. Take a look at them. And I noticed that the plant over here is putting on a few more seed heads. So we'll just let it go as long as it wants to. Okay, and Tropicana, that's my green one that I like. Okay, cover the seeds lightly. I'll probably go out and mow the lawn tomorrow, grab a little bit of grass clipping. Okay, looky there. That's done. We are seeded. We'll transplant in a few weeks. So carrots, I think I'll wait till next week. We'll grab some carrots next week. So let's go take a look at our harvest today. Okay, we collected our harvest. We went ahead and weighed them. For the kale, we had 1/2 pound, so that's awesome. The broccoli, 0.63. Our zucchini, 15.5 pounds. I gotta find some friends or throw it in the freezer. Swiss chard, 0.27 pounds. Our lettuce, we had 1.12 pounds. Our Joy Choy, yay, 0.69 pounds. And our cucumbers, there was 20.75 pounds. And the tomatoes, there was 6.25 pounds. So our total this week was $123.43 in savings. And our year-to-date total is $2,239.15 from this tiny little garden in 27 weeks. That is flat amazing. Now my goal is $2,990, which is 10 times the cost of the Abundance Garden course. So we're going to show you that we're going to be able to grow that, at least I hope. Our goal that we have left, we have to grow $750.85 worth of food left out of this garden. So it's going to be really close because we got 6 weeks left. We're running around $100 a week. So hopefully we'll catch up a little bit. But even if we don't reach our absolute goal, it's still amazing that this little garden can produce 10 times the cost of the course. So just think about that a little bit. Better than Wall Street, I guarantee you. The garden gives us so much more than just great food. The 27th gift that my garden gives me is ease. Most gardens by fall are overgrown by weeds and have been abandoned. Not this garden. It is producing food like mad. The harvest takes more time than anything in this high-performance garden. This garden is cruising along and producing an amazing amount of food with very little effort. What a joy this garden is to grow. Speaking of joy, we had a special guest last week. I wanted to thank Kathleen from Albuquerque, New Mexico for coming and touring the farm and bringing me a gift. She brought me this humongous bag of pantyhose so I can tie up all of my melons. She knows that I've already cleaned out my drawer and all my friends' drawers. So thank you, Kathleen, for all the pantyhose so my melons don't fall on the floor. And also thanks for coming to see the garden. You are all a part of the farm's family, and without you, the show would not be the same. We would love to have you connect with us to keep the garden show continuing for years to come. We don't have any sponsors or advertisements for the garden show, and we have to raise all the income to keep it going. So we don't want to ask for donations. Instead, we would like to create a win-win situation for the both of us. The holiday season is a time that everyone will be looking for unique gifts for their loved ones. And here on the farm, we are looking ahead to hosting a holiday sale. This will be a great way for you to get unique gifts that are handmade and one of a kind. Unlike the big box stores that most people shop at, each purchase from the farm really makes a difference to us, for our flock of people and our flock of sheep. The wool slippers, mittens, scarves, and pillows, and so many other gifts, they are each handmade with love, so you will each have a piece of the farm. Each purpose will keep us and our flock of people working through the off-season, something that isn't common for farmers in our area. So stay tuned for the holiday sale to start October 10th. And I'm excited to share with you the fun and unique holiday gifts that our farm crew is making. Each purchase of an Amazing Farm product or garden education keeps us going, and we appreciate your support immensely. So here's a sneak preview of 2 of the items that our crew is making for the sale. Okay, first off, we have our amazing slippers, and this wool comes totally from our sheep. They have a rubber backing on them. They have an inner lining. We sold a zillion of these last year. You guys absolutely loved them. And so now I know that all you guys that have been wearing your slippers are going to want some for your family and friends. So, whoop, come back, slipper. So we're going to have slippers again this year. This is our shoe shape, and then we also have the boot shape. We have this shape as well, and this comes up a little higher on the ankle. These shoes are awesome as well. On the website you'll be able to see the different colors and sizes that we'll have available this year. We need everybody to order early because we can only make so many pair a day, and so if you want to get in on it, get your orders in early. That's why we're starting in October. Okay, another sneak preview. So very brand new this year. These are our wool and willow stools. So the willow is a special tree that's growing here on the farm. My father actually started selling these trees. They're called wind dancer willows, and he had these in production for about 25 years. We now have them on the farm, and so we are producing the stools out of the willows, and then the tops out of our felt. And the fun thing about the top is I was sitting on the stool, testing it out, of course, and the wool will start to warm your fanny. So these are fanny warming stools, so that'll be a lot of fun in the wintertime. We're going to have 3 different colors. We're going to have, this is kind of our fall color. We'll have a darker one, and then we're actually going to make one with fabric on it so that you can have these outside. So there'll be a limited supply of stools. So October 10th is when we're going to start taking orders, and the website will be up and all the pieces will be on there. So if you want something very unique, something beautiful, and a piece of the farm, then you can order some of our fantastic products that our crew is making this year. Also, there will be other things. I'll show you a few more next week. So to share the show and the holiday sale, simply send your friends and family to sign up for free at thelivingfarm.org/high-performance-garden-show. And until next time, may your garden be easy, fun, productive, and always organic.